Hello, I'm still Danny Black, and welcome to another edition of Hobby News Daily. Today we have a hobby spotlight. My friend Robert Tran from Go
Hey,
GTS. What's
what's
going
up,
on, Rob?
Danny?
Nothing. I'm glad to have you on. You've hosted the main stage. I've been on a couple of times, and you're a great host there. And more importantly, a key sponsor for Hobby News Daily. So thank you for everything, and thanks for coming on.
Oh, my pleasure. Love what you guys do. Much needed. You've assembled a good team with some good people, and it's good to see. So,
Well,
um,
thank you.
yeah, I was. I loved your reply to Collect Media when they broke on the scene, and man, the poor hobbies had no media whatsoever
Right.
covering it all these years. What would we do without Darren Ravel?
I know. I've crossed paths with him personally, professionally. I have my thoughts there, but they've got some good people over there, and I'll give a shout out to Will Stern, who him and I get along. So Will's a good guy, but Darren, best of luck to you. Um, for full disclosure, my internet glitched a minute ago, so if something happens, guys, that's on me, not Rob. So we'll take it from there. I roll with the punches, and I don't edit, so let's have some fun. Um, okay, so Rob, why don't you explain to everybody first of all what you do in your role?
What I do and my role. Okay. You mean in the hobby or in my personal like as a
No,
husband, wife,
professional.
father, mother? Oh, no, I'm the director of marketing for GTS Distribution. We're the world's largest distributor of trading cards, board games, TCGs, role-playing games, miniatures, hobby supplies. We don't do anything with big box stores. We supply all the specialty retailers, online group breakers, things of that nature. We have, 9-10 locations here in the U.S., as well as locations in China, Ireland, and Germany.
That's unbelievable. And as a family that collects sports cards, and my son, I'd be remiss if I didn't give him a shout out on his Pokemon collection. We're very, very glad to get those in our hands, even though I've probably supported half of Go GTS with his cards.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
So talk to me about your background in the hobby. I know you've been involved in a lot of cool things and worked for some cool companies. Kind of your passion growing up, what hooked you on cards, and your background within the hobby.
Well, I think like most people of our age now, we were in the hobby when we were younger, before it was even called the hobby, and then we walked away because girls, skateboard, college, stuff like that. And coming back to the hobby, I just needed something to fill my time with. Back in like 2000, 2001. And a friend of mine had said to me, "Hey, when was the last time you were in a card shop?" And I was like, "Well, when I sold my collection to travel with the Grateful Dead." So it had been a while, and he was busting out cards with, game used patches and autographs. And I was like, "Oh, this is really cool." And I had stumbled upon a website called cardcornerclub.net, which did a fabulous job of reviewing products, explaining pros and cons of the product, providing high res imagery, things of that nature. I mean, really before there was hobby media per se. Yes, there was Beckett. Yes, there was Sports Collectors Digest, but at the time, these companies had acted like the internet was this passing fad. And the people who would eventually become my business partners in the venture realized, hey, there's demand for product information, news, and coverage, and we should do it. So in addition to the website, we started a radio show, and I think we did 560 episodes on Blog Talk Radio. I mean, that's a ton of content, right?
That's a lot, yeah.
But, there was a bit of a falling out. Amends have been made, all friends again, but that switched to a different direction where cardcornerclub.net kind of got acquired by Cardboard Connection. I was working for them for a while. We rebranded the radio show under that name. But then after a while, we realized that this is such a visual medium that we deal with that we needed to grow beyond radio, that it was time to do something with video. So we had been in conversations with GTS Distribution to actually sell them the radio show and convert it to a video show. And my business partner got approached by someone at GTS wanting him to work full time. He was happy where he was, but he referred me. That's how I ended up joining GTS on a freelance basis in August of 2013, full time in 2014 in November. So come November, this would be officially my 10-year anniversary with GTS Distribution. And I've gone from marketing manager, senior marketing manager now to director of marketing.
Well, first of all, congratulations. And what a long, strange trip it's been.
It has been. It has been.
Yeah. A little, guys, that's a Grateful Dead reference if you don't. If you don't. I grew up, my dad was a Deadhead, traveled throughout the 60s
That's awesome.
with them. And he's got one original concert shirt.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And he's got like two things in his will, and that's one of them.
Wow.
So, yeah. So one day I'm going to have to lose weight to fit back into his, 18-year-old T-shirt. But Grateful Dead memorabilia is like crazy.
Well, not only that, concert T-shirts in general are a really kind of like unpublicized niche in collectibles. And I mean, you can make some great scores at thrift stores, Goodwill, and stuff like that. I just saw a 9 Inch Nails T-shirt from their first album. I forget what that album was called. So we're going back to like what, 89, maybe something like that, and sold for like $9,000. A T-shirt, a concert T-shirt.
All right, I'm going back through his closet one more time.
I know, exactly.
That's unbelievable. All right, so my brother can have the watch. I'll take the T-shirt.
There you go.
But that brings me to the point that the hobby has had an evolution, and collecting has had an evolution. The fact that I think the hobby's almost pulled a 360 of being very introverted. I think we had, the junk wax era where it was all about just cards and printing cards and everything like that, to a much more niche, specialized, area where there's so many sets out there. Not everybody can collect everything. So you have your favorites, and I'm a new release. I'm a dork for baseball and follow that. And it's a good time of year for some of those. And like I said, my son with Pokemon releases. What are you seeing as a change in kind of the patterns of different sports or different collectibles in the last couple of years, if you're seeing a change?
Well, obviously, the biggest change to the industry has been the emergence of fanatics, as we're all aware. But what's interesting is, regardless of what happens with the industry side of the hobby itself isn't going to change. People are always going to collect what they like. They're going to collect cards. They're going to collect autographs. They're going to collect memorabilia. So whatever's happening in the industry and the periphery and the noise and the distraction, at the end of the day, collecting is still just that. It's collecting. It's a hobby. And regardless of who's making what, collectors will just gravitate naturally to what they like. And as long as Fanatics continues to operate as they produce a collectible and not a commodity, the health of the industry and the hobby will be great for years to come.
Okay. So personally, do you still collect?
Yes, I do.
What do you like to collect? What do you
Well, I've kind of grown out of sports largely. And now I've always been an aficionado and someone who has appreciated history. So my collecting focus is kind of turned on that, whether that be World War II, Civil War, Revolutionary War. So I really appreciate some of the products from historic autographs, pieces of the past. And so much like we were just talking about, there's a niche for everything, and regardless of what you collect, you'll be able to find something in this hobby that we all love. So while I still appreciate sports cards and love ripping product on Go GTS Live, what my personal passion is gears towards history now.
It's funny you brought that up. I've talked to a lot of people recently who have been in the hobby for a while who are shifting, um, either partially non-sports or completely non-sports. And I wonder if it's, we all have the collecting gene, but you like to rotate, a little bit to keep your brain working into different parts of your life. John Newman, one of my good friends, bought a Billy Joel early card. I don't know if it's considered a rookie, but he's gone into a lot of music cards, um,
Nice.
which is kind of cool, and I think that's to your point that collecting is collecting. It doesn't matter what it is. That's something at Hobby News Daily, that we brought in early that I really felt strongly about. Eric Norton writes every month on comic books.
Yeah,
I'm not a comic book guy. I would have never dawned on me, but people respond to that, and the cards that go along with the comic books and that whole industry. I'm seeing a real merging of kind of the what used to be two separate worlds of entertainment and sports kind of merging into one collectible center. Is that how you feel?
absolutely. I mean, if you look at some of the TV shows and movies that we've grown up with, okay, and we've all secretly gone, oh, it'd be awesome if that had a card set, right? Well, now you have Cryptozoic in the fourth quarter. They're going to bring out a Christmas Story trading cards. I mean, it's
Oh
going
my
to be
goodness,
awesome. I mean,
that's crazy.
yeah, exactly. And so the fact that
Who would have thunk it?
exactly. And so when I saw that solicitation come across my desk, I was like, this is so overdue and so awesome. And so then when you hear about, similar companies like them pursuing other licenses, whether it be, you know, um, well, there's some things I'm privy to that I can't release
Well,
just yet.
I'll talk about third party companies. Steamboat Willie just
There you go.
I'll give that as an example of one where the patent ran out and somebody was able to produce.
Leaf trading cards, and people ate them up and loved them.
Yep.
Speaking of Leaf, one of the things I think that they're really, really good at is direct to consumer, small runs, instant cards, off mainstream, and just saying we know there's niche collectors out there for this product, and to see them take the risks to do that has been really interesting. Like just yesterday, they announced that they've acquired a trading card license for the Slap League. Are you familiar with the Slap League, Danny?
Only from sitting in sports bars and watching it silently off to the side. I can't say I'm a big follower.
Well, me either. And I don't know if the hobby is ready for slap cards, but they're coming. They are coming. And
I'm scared to ask the price. Is it like several slaps? Is it,
I don't know. But I think what this does is all these little niche things help amplify the hobby bigger than it is in terms of, oh, you collect baseball cards. Well, the hobby is way bigger than baseball cards, right? And so to bring product awareness, notoriety, and information to an audience that may not necessarily be a collector, but interested in niches like the Slap League, all of a sudden they have something to collect now when they may not have realized that they were collectors at all. So as long as companies continue to push the envelope as far as what to offer the end user as far as what is a collectible, it's pretty interesting and fun to see.
I think that some of these sets we're going to look back on and say we really missed an opportunity to grab them when they came out. I agree with you. but it's all about limited runs. I talked about junk wax early. One of the great things I do, and you talked about the instant printing. I mean, most of this, not all of it, but a lot of it does have a limited run option, and I think that's just fantastic because it keeps that collectible value in there. If you want a base card, you know that's always available. But if you really want to jump on an exclusive athlete or a moment or something like that, it gives you an alternative to a base set and just collecting the newest release, or both. Um, I like breaking some new wax also, but I've bought instant cards, and I think the instant cards is new for me collecting personally.
Yep.
And some of these niche leagues you're talking about, absolutely, I hear people talking about them.
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought that there would be PBA
Pickleball.
cards and and yet they were super popular when Leaf made that run of professional bowling cards. They're coming out with a full set, but they kind of tested the waters. And it's always interesting when they do these web only releases. It's kind of like a test sometimes to see can the hobby support this as a standalone, and based on the sales they do on the individual cards, goes into their thought process, I'm sure, as far as, okay, we can take this to a pack out product. And that's, I mean, at the end of the day, there still is nothing better than that feeling of opening a pack, never knowing what might be inside. Doesn't matter how old you are, how long you've been doing this. You hand somebody a pack of cards and they know that feeling's coming.
Yes. So doing what you do, you don't have any inside secrets on which pack to grab out of the box?
No, I don't. I try to, it's funny. I do try to pay attention when, well, let me back up a little bit. I used to just open the packs out of a box on the show the way they were, but I decided to shuffle them up because the way that they're packed out, a lot of times the seating of where that card is or a parallel might be similar in every box. So I don't like to encourage someone walking into a store going for the fourth pack because they saw me pull, you know what I mean?
Right. That's a great point. Yeah, Rob said this was guaranteed to hit.
Exactly.
Rob, where's my guarantee? No, that's an excellent point. And it's funny because I'm old enough that I've been opening packs for 35 years, or more. I still think I can figure out the good packs. Is as crazy as is, and as my logical brain tells me that there's no way I know what I'm doing. But if I stand in front of that box, I will try to look at the thickness. I'll try to look at where it's placed. I'll look at the bottom. And I am the worst at pulling packs. My luck is terrible. My wife will walk up to a box, grab a pack, not think twice, and get one of the biggest hits in a set.
That's how my wife is. Unbelievable luck. Wrong? Yep. There's some, it's interesting too, because I just saw some Target is going to start trying to police pack searching and stuff like that. And I am not a proponent. I think just grab a pack and get out of there. Don't be such a, I don't know. It's like, dude, man, if your happiness is dependent on making sure that you leave that Target with the 3 packs from the box that have something in it, I feel sorry for you. But I just don't know how you police that.
My Target had a no digital scale sign. How's that for how far we've gotten in craziness?
Wow. I'm heading to Target. I got to grab. Oh, wait, I forgot the scale.
Right. Scales are no longer for drug dealers. They are now for baseball card collectors.
That's funny. I'll be the first to admit I'll take my postage scale, and let's say I get 2 promo boxes from Upper Deck of a product, and I'll throw them both on the scale. And if one weighs more, I'll have a tendency to open that. But what I found is that that's kind of a misnomer, because sometimes that extra weight is just a decoy card. So you never really know, it's just a crapshoot.
And you're not taking it into Target with you.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a line of sanity there.
Yes.
Okay, so moving forward, nationals coming up. The amount of large shows around the country now is unbelievable. where do you guys, fall in shows and the importance to you, and what do you have upcoming on your itinerary?
Well, GTS Distribution will once again host the Case Breaking Lounge, and it's a place for all the breakers to come, chill, relax, get away from their booth. And Go GTS Live will once again be emceeing the main stage in partnership with Whatnot. And there'll be a lot of Whatnot activations going on. We'll probably only be handling transitions from one thing to another. The stage has really evolved. When it first started and we were first emceeing, we had a lot of time to kill, a lot of time on the mic. And now it's very, very different. The stage is in such demand for people that there's just ongoing programming, it seems. And it's been one of the great things that the National has provided. But one of the things I'm really excited about, the National, in my opinion, has always lacked dedicated after hours experiences tied to the National. Okay.
Yes.
And so everybody leaves the show, and Kentucky Roadshow might, do a trade night or something, and the fire marshal shows up and there's too many people and this, that, and the other thing. But it's never really been sanctioned or officially, a national event. Well, that all changes this year because, there's going to be the national experiences. There's 3 trade nights, a cocktails and cards event, and a VIP party, a dealer welcome event. And all of this takes place after hours, but on the show floor, which is absolutely key. So the party just gets started when the show floor closes this year, which is going to be great to see. And GTS Distribution is a very proud partner and sponsor of the national experiences this year.
Well, I think the amount of kids that will appreciate not having trade nights start at 11 p.m. at a random hotel,
yes,
by word of mouth,
yes.
will be, they were like speakeasies.
Yes.
And I'd always fall asleep before I found out where they were. And the next morning you would find out that something happened. I like this so much better, and I'm glad you guys are involved. My son is going to be with me at the National, so you will definitely see the two of us
Great.
At the trade night. Personally, for you, do you get any sleep that week?
Do I get any sleep that week? I get a little sleep. It's a long week. I usually
how many pairs of shoes do you pack?
I'm one of those people that only packs one. I got
way.
I have my favorite shoes. They're the most comfortable thing I own, and I will not change them for anything. Now, socks is a different story.
Okay.
Socks is a different story. After the show, I change my socks.
Oh, absolutely.
I just feel more fresh with an extra pair of fresh socks.
Rob, you're brilliant. You're successful. Everything you say I've agreed with up until the one pair of shoes. You got to let that foam re-sponge. That's Rob, I'm a huge fan. I look forward to seeing you at the National. I look forward to having you on again. Tell everybody all the ways to get in touch with you guys and to follow your live shows and everything else.
Absolutely. Appreciate the opportunity. You can follow us on X at GoGTS Live. We stream our web show, the Hobbies Web Show, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Twitch, YouTube, and X. And you can get more hobby information on new product releases, collecting profiles, checklists, and much more at gogts.net.
And it's a fantastic resource. I use it all the time, so definitely check it out. Will you come back maybe after the National, and we'll do a kind of a look back?
A decompress? Yeah.
Yeah, a decompress. We'll see who was right on the shoes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do it for sure.
All right, fantastic. Well, I appreciate you joining Hobby News Daily today, and glad to finally get you on here.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thanks for chasing me down.
No, thanks for all your support for everything you guys do. And for everybody else out there, check out Hobby News Daily on YouTube and hobbynewsdaily.com. And we'll see you next time. Take care.